callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
AMP2.TV presents Tell Us Your Business, where you're invited on the air to tell us what makes your business stand out in the community. It's important we hear from you to tell us all we need to know about what you do best. Tell Us Your Business uses the latest radio and television production systems, and all shows can be seen on AMP2.TV. If you have a question for our guest, call 888-565-1470. Now, let's get ready as our guest hits the airwaves and informs us about what we need to know on Tell Us Your Business.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tell Us Your Biz. I'm your host, Rayma Phillips, and this is our Lynn University segment hour. As you may guess, I am a Lynn University student. I am a senior, and I will be graduating in 2 weeks. I can't believe the time is already coming to an end. I remember I transferred to Lynn about last year in 2020, right at kind of in the midst of the COVID pandemic, and it was a little bit crazy having to deal with online schooling as well as having to deal with in-person schooling, kind of managing that. I was a track athlete at Lynn University. I ran there for about a year and a half. In total, I was a track athlete for about 8 years, and it was just a wonderful experience. It takes so much dedication, so much hard work to be a student athlete in particular. Lynn University is such an amazing school. I definitely enjoy my time at the school. I've learned so much. The faculty there is absolutely amazing, and they are actually the reason why I ended up here today on the radio station. I remember it was about a week ago, and they had a career fair there. They have a bunch of career fairs. I'm pretty sure that this was the last one. And there I met Freddie and Dawn, and I was taking the pictures for the event because I work as a event photographer as well. And I ran into them and they started talking to me. They were like, we saw you walking around and all these other things. And they invited me to the studio. And at first I was a little bit uncertain because I didn't do my research yet. I didn't really know what I was walking into, but I would say it was such a great experience walking into that studio Friday morning and having all the pictures hanging up, having people just welcoming you in. It was just a wonderful experience. I've never done anything in my life. I walked in and they just handed me a mic, and it was a little bit scary at first because I'm like, what am I going to say? Like, this is so weird. Even right now, I've never really done this before, but I would say learning how to be comfortable while being uncomfortable is such a valuable experience. And leading into that, I would like to talk about a little bit about being a certified personal trainer. I work as a certified personal trainer. I'm a NASM certified personal trainer, and I work in the Boca Raton area. I train clients at the Boca Raton Resort, as well as John Yo's Gymnasium, which is located in Boca Raton as well. I absolutely love my job, being able to help, being able to guide people on their fitness journey. It's something that I really love to do, and I never really thought I would get the opportunity to do it, especially at this level and especially at my age as well. Being a personal trainer, a lot of people think that you just show up to the gym and you start training people, you give them certain workouts to do, and then magically they get these perfect bodies and these perfect results. But in reality, that's not really the case. Being a personal trainer, you have the training aspect of it, but you also have the personal aspect of it. I am this person's like lifeline, basically. They call me, they text me in order for me to help them and give them the best results possible, because I may see them 2 days a week, but I'm giving them a workout plan for 5 days a week. I'm reviewing what they eat for that day to make sure that they're getting the nutrients that they need. All these little things that play into being a personal trainer. And it can be tough. It's hard work. Like, your day does not end at 5 p.m. when you leave the gym. Your day ends, well, actually, it doesn't really end. You're up doing work, you're up contacting clients, you're up doing all those things because you want to truly help people. And being a personal trainer, it takes more than just a love for working out, because, you know, going from track and field to being a licensed personal trainer was definitely a big move. I remember I stopped track in October because I really wanted to pursue this dream. And I didn't really know too much of this industry, but luckily I had some great people that cared for me and trusted in me and saw my potential, and just those few people that saw my potential allowed me to get to the point where I am now. And there's still room for growth. The test itself was a bit difficult, but we were able to get through it, and I would say it was probably one of the best decisions that I ever take. And so, while the reason why I mentioned that, because being a track athlete for so long, I fell in love with working out, the process of working out, the process of bettering yourself, because it is hard work. You put your body under so much stress as an athlete. Day after day, you are running to the point of exhaustion, putting your muscles to the point of exhaustion. And it's tough. And some days you want to just lay in bed and don't want to wake up for practice, but you have to. And I think it was that discipline, and I think it was that motivation that really guided me towards wanting to be a licensed personal trainer. And it was, a little bit scary at first. I didn't really know what I was doing. Just like now, I've never done this before. And I remember when I first started, when I was with my first client, I was so nervous. But once you start talking to them, once you start doing your thing, all those nerves just go away. I remember starting this show, I was, a little bit anxious, but now it's just flowing. And it's the same way while being a personal trainer. Once you get the hang of things, everything just flows right the way that they're supposed to. And with that, I found the love of being able to help people, because fitness is something that is important to all of our lives. Being healthy is important to all of our lives. And sometimes we may not have the tools, sometimes we may not have the knowledge in order to get ourselves to that point. That's why, as a personal trainer, these people are putting their trust in you. They are trusting you to get them to the point where they want to be. They're trusting you to help them reach their goals. And that is something that is truly very precious. So as a personal trainer, I like to put myself in my client's shoes to really understand how important this is to them, because this may just be another hour of work for you, but for them, this could be a life-changing thing that they're, trusting you in the process in order to get through. In the gym, when you're making programs, you have to make programs for months and months in advance. It can't just be one workout and it's done, because if you just do random workouts every day, people are not going to see the results that they want. And then, you're not going to get any business as well. And, when people put their trust in you, you don't want them to get injured. That's why it's very important to be licensed as well, because even though as an athlete, I had a lot of knowledge. I only had knowledge on how to train athletes. I only had knowledge on what it was like to be trained as an athlete. And when I went for my testing and things like that, I was able to understand so much more of the anatomy, the nutrition, everything that goes into being a personal trainer. And I'm very blessed to live in South Florida, where there's a culture for fitness, where there's a culture for this active lifestyle. So originally I come from Connecticut. I was born and raised in Connecticut. I lived in New London, Connecticut. I lived in New Haven, Connecticut, right by Yale. Great school, by the way. I went to Southern Connecticut State University. And being a personal trainer was never on my mind when I lived in Connecticut. Initially, I went to school for journalism. Then I switched my major to communication. And now I'm doing communication strategies here at Lynn University. But up there, that was never really in my job prospect, because there's not a culture, there is not an environment for personal trainers up there. It's kind of just something that high schools or colleges have in order to get their athletes back in shape. But down here in South Florida, there is such an active culture. There's an active lifestyle. And it's just something that I'm so happy to be part of this community, to be a part of this industry, because the joy on the people's faces when they reach their goals, when they put on the muscles that they want to, when they cut back the weight that they want to, is so unbelievably rewarding. Because again, as I said before, I like to put myself in people's shoes. I want to feel what they're feeling so I can better help them reach their goals. Because I know, especially as an athlete, when you reach those milestones, when you reach those goals that you've been striving for so long, that you put in so much hard work towards, it's momentous. And from there, you just want to keep on going. You just want to keep on getting stronger and faster. And for many people, personal trainers help them become more functional in their day-to-day lives. Because I've realized, working in this industry, I don't work with a lot of athletes every day. I might get a few high school athletes, but not as many college athletes because they have their own curriculums for their own universities that they follow. But I tend to work with people who just live day-to-day lives in their industry, whatever they may work in. And I meet so many different types of people. You can have people who are ex-military. You can have sales reps. You can have veterinarians, doctors, all different types of people who come for the same purpose, to get fit and to have a healthier lifestyle. And I feel like that's so amazing because you have that sense of community within like the gym environment or the workout and the fitness industry, being able to show up no matter what your profession is, no matter what your lifestyle it is. People are able to show up and have the same goal to, get healthier. And with that, I also work as a group class instructor at Johnny O's Gymnasium. Fabulous gym, by the way. I think it's absolutely amazing. It's an indoor-outdoor gym facility located in Boca Raton, the only indoor-outdoor gym in Boca Raton. We have a 40-meter long turf field in the back. We have outside lifting equipment. It's absolutely amazing. And that's one of the main reasons why I choose to train my clients there, because no matter rain or shine, you can still work out outside. You can still have that outdoor feel. And so many of my clients love that because, you have to realize that the gym environment is not for everyone. It's not something that everyone enjoys being in. I know, especially as like a woman, it can be very intimidating walking into this place and having all these big, strong people doing their workouts and all these other things. And if you come in not really knowing what you want to do or not know the techniques in order to do things properly, it can be a very intimidating place. And so I definitely understand that as well. Like there's some of my clients I train at the park. Some of my clients I train, in fields, away from the gym environment, because that is where they're comfortable. Because I also know that this is not for everyone. I like to lift weights and lift heavy and all these other things, but that's not everyone's form of fitness. And when it comes to your own fitness journey, something that I always tell people I meet or some of my clients is find a type of fitness that you enjoy doing, whether it be golfing, swimming, biking, dancing, hiking, literally anything that gets you moving. Find that and use that as a way to start your fitness journey. Because if you don't like going to the gym, if you don't like working out, you're not going to be consistent. You're not going to stay with it. But if you do something that you love as a way to get your fitness in for the day, you're going to be consistent. You're going to stick with it. And the challenge and the intimidation of starting your workout journey will lessen and you'll become more comfortable. So thank you everyone for joining us today. Again, I'm your host, Ray Phillips, and I hope everyone has a great rest of their evening.
Along the sun-drenched beaches of Boca Raton lies AMP2 Media. We strive to bring rising stars and their fantastic work into the spotlight. From music to art, we have the tools and the talent you need to help you reach the next level. AMP2 Media is proud to announce our new scoring platform for reality shows, movies, and videos. We have the ability to highlight music according to what the eye sees on the screen. Our excellent mastery of music allows us into the deepest part of your film. Our different sounds allow your film work to come to life. For more information, call our studios at 866-224-5422 or visit our website at amp2.tv. Let AMP Media Productions bring your media to life.
Have you been injured in a car accident, slip and fall, or through the negligence of another? The lawyers at Shane M. Farnsworth, PA have over 40 years of combined experience representing injured individuals and their families. Call us today at 561-272-8337 for a free case evaluation and the answers to your legal questions. Were you injured in an accident that wasn't your fault? Don't let the insurance companies take advantage of you. Contact us now to learn about your options and to protect your rights.
Hey y'all, welcome back. I'm your host now, Joshua Martin. I'm another graduate from Lynn University, graduating 2 weeks as well. I'm just going to tell you about my experience, probably give you little tips on computer animation for all the students that are going into that. But yeah, so I started out doing digital stuff in high school. And I knew I wanted to do something with art and technology and mix them together. I didn't know it was a thing until I found out about Photoshop and Illustrator, which is kind of bizarre. But I only found out about that stuff really in high school, you know? And then there was a school that looked to me called DMAC, Digital Media Arts of College. The school's no more because Lynn bought them out, actually. And that's what really helped me out to go to Lynn and pursue my career there. The teachers there, amazing. Alex Duque, Mike Santowski, Kevin, everyone, all great teachers. They taught me everything that you could know. Now I'm starting to blink out a little bit. Okay. And the freshman year, you got to start out it's hard work, but if you really like it, you just have to put your mind and to do it, really. You just have to sit down and just draw every day. Anatomy is a huge thing in just rigging and animation, learning how each muscle moves, how the joints move. Animation Survival Kit, the book, you have to get it, and it's basically a necessity for all animation people to study up on.
What's rigging? What is rigging?
Rigging. You're going to learn a lot. You're going to learn how to model. You're going to learn how to rig. You're going to learn how to animate. A lot of people tend to choose between modeling and animation, but I would not forget about rigging. Rigging is a huge important thing to learn about, especially if you want to go animation. Rigging is learning about the skeleton system, because when people model characters, when you bring it into the application, all they're going to do is just sit still, and then you're not going to know how to move it. What the riggers do, they go into it and put the bones into each joint, basically. So there will be joints on the shoulder and then a little circle that the animator can move to make the arm move and all that. So rigging, you have to learn how to do that if you want to do animation. It's a big necessity. For modelers, learn topology, all that stuff. And if you're doing animation, you're terrible at topology, learn how to model. Learn how to model anyways. If you're bad at it, do it anyways. It's something that it's a skill that you're probably not good at, but it's really good to build on. Drawing every day, it's a major. And one thing I've noticed that it kind of sucks, but it kind of helps out too, is if you take away everything and focus on school, that's the only thing that's going to work. If you take away your friends, take away your relationships, all that, and focus on school your last year, that's what I did. But I did it on my last month, and my last month was probably my best month of school, my best work, everything. But I took away everything and focused only on my animation work. And if you want to be the best at what you do, you have to get rid of everything and focus on that one specific thing, because that's what is going to drive you for the next 30 years. That's going to be your career. That's what you chose to do, and that's what you choose to love to do for your life, basically. So if you want to be good at it, you have to get rid of everything and just practice, as bad as it sounds. Even on days when you don't want to practice, just practice. There could be something else. There could be tutorials on YouTube that you can watch that might be fun. I mean, it's really fun to do, honestly. Once you get the learning curves out of the way, it's a fun thing. I'll say what I do is I just go home, put some music on, get some reference videos, and just practice my animation, practice my walk cycles, practice my run cycles. And it's just the more you practice, the more you get better at what you do. And so, yeah, I play guitar too. I've been doing that for 15, 16 years. It's the most fun thing ever. I mean, music is it's amazing. Music is amazing. It's hard to, I don't know, I'm terrible at speaking.
What do you draw?
I draw. I love old comic book style art. Heavy, thick border lines, very flat color artwork. That artwork is just beautiful to me. Old Marvel comics, the very action poses, the very, yeah, everything.
When you bring them to life.
Yeah, and you bring them life, yeah. Yep.
At what point in your schooling did you know that this is what you were going to want to do?
I think I found out freshman year of high school because I've always wanted to do something. If it was not animation, it would have been graphic design. If it wasn't graphic design, it would have been architecture. It would have to be something digitally because the new world is all technological. So if you can learn all the applications, learn as many applications on as you can learn on computers because the computers are taking over the world. And it's a true thing. And speaking of which, if you're doing animation and all that, learn how to program, especially Python. It is going to help you out so much, especially I have the certification for Python. Hopefully it helps me out. I really think it will help you out. It will save a lot of time because you can take scripts and you can sell scripts basically that you create, which is just little coding segments that can make, say you have a walk cycle and you don't want to repeat that walk cycle for however long the person walks. You can take that little script and just copy and paste it, and you don't have to do that animation, setting keys for the animation, which take a long time. But yeah, learning how to write code in Python, it's a big booster, and it'll help you a lot.
Why do you like Lynn University?
Lynn University is a great school. What I like most about it is that it has 18 people most to a classroom instead of FEU, which has probably 200 people in a classroom. I would not be able to deal with that. So having that one-on-one interaction in the small classrooms with the teacher is absolutely amazing. I mean, you can't beat it. The foods there is amazing. Like I said, the teachers there are amazing. The staff there is amazing. With COVID, they did an amazing job with it. Cleaning the classrooms, making sure there was like a 30-minute separation between each class to clean out the classroom, clean down the desk, clean down the chairs and everything, make sure it's ready for the next class to come in.
What do you want to learn?
I want to just design, animate, I mean, wherever my career takes me. I applied to the internship at EA Madden. Hopefully they look at it and see my resume. Hopefully they think it's all good and all that. But yeah, the animation world, it's coming up. It's going to be a big thing, hopefully, and it's going to be fun.
You think it's changing the animation world?
Yeah. Like I said, because everything is becoming technological and all that, and there's designs everywhere, advertisements everywhere. So just learning how to get that creative side out and designing stuff for people, it's not a lot of people can do it, but if you can do it, it's fun to do.
We talked about companies after COVID.
Mm-hmm.
How can they use your skills to introduce themselves back into
So one thing with COVID and the animation world is everything has gone remote, and it's been really nice. And I haven't been in the industry yet, but it seems like it's working a lot because I don't want to travel to California for Pixar, but if Pixar would hire me, I would love to work for Pixar. And they're starting to do remote workers. So I can stay here in Boca and work for Pixar in California. And I think that's just amazing, being able to work for them. It's a huge plus, yeah. Huge plus. It's kind of hard because all these big animation jobs and modeling and 3D software jobs, they're obviously out in California, and it's hard to travel to a new state and just to check it out, really. But I mean, with Zoom and with these remote workers, it makes things a little easier. just to work from home, because all you really need is your computer. And yeah.
Cost effective too.
Yeah, and it's very less. Yep.
Hard question.
Okay.
What separates you from the other 17 members of your class?
It all goes back to how much work you put in, really. If you put all your time and effort into what you do, you're gonna get the best outcome back. That's really what I can say. So I try to put in my full heart into what I do all the time.
So when you started Lynn versus now, if you knew then what you know now, what would you tell your 4-year-ago self?
I would say just focus on school, really. Things will come later in life. The girlfriend, the money, everything else will come later in life. Just focus on school right now. Do the best work you can absolutely create, and the people out there will see it. And just start networking. Networking at a very, 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 or as a freshman, starting your online portfolio as a freshman is a huge, huge plus. Getting your name out there and networking, it's hard to do. But if you start at a very, as a freshman, once you start to graduate, it'll be much easier.
Ready to wrap it up?
Yeah. I am. Now we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be back.
Along the sun-drenched beaches of Boca Raton lies AMP2 Media. We strive to bring rising stars and their fantastic work into the spotlight. From music to art, we have the tools and the talent you need to help you reach the next level. AMP2 Media is proud to announce our new scoring platform for reality shows, movies, and videos. We have the ability to highlight music according to what the eye sees on the screen. Our excellent mastery of music allows us into the deepest part of your film. Our different sounds allow your film work to come to life. For more information, call our studios at 866-224-5422 or visit our website at amp2.tv. Let AMP Media Productions bring your media to life.
If a tree falls in the woods and no one is around to hear it, does it make a sound? Have you ever felt that your voice goes unheard? And you think that you can make a difference if only someone would listen? It's time for women in business to have a place to step into your power, a platform to embrace your hopes, dreams, and your visions, a voice to heal and restore. Your voice can make a difference. We have a platform you deserve to share your story and let your voice be heard. Be kind to yourself. Give yourself the chance to be heard and shine bright. Contact New Dawn Media by texting CAFE to 55312. That's CAFE to 55312. Or call us at 866-224-5422. Your voice can make a difference.
Welcome back to Tell Us Your Biz. As you can guess, I'm another graduate at Lynn University. My name is Carla Osa. I graduated from Lynn last year. And the time I was at Lynn, I think it was one of the most amazing one in my life. It was actually really, really long. To start from the beginning, originally from Colombia, I moved to the United States in 2004. And that's when I went to the an intensive English program at Lynn University. I was able to get into the university right after. And I transferred my credits that I studied in communication back in Colombia, transferred to Lynn University. And I was a full-time student there. I was also working as an international fashion model, and my career took off overnight, pretty much. And I was always in a plane. Teachers there were amazing, and thanks to them, I was able to be like where I am right now and graduated because I was never in class. They knew I wasn't just skipping classes. They helped me being able to just go to their office, take the classes, the tests, everything needed at different times in front of them, and that's how I got here. At some point, actually, my traveling got so bad, I was never home. I would spend 2 or 3 nights in my own bed. The rest of the time I was in Europe, South Africa, back to the States for a day or two, and then back in the plane overseas. And that's when I said, I can't do this anymore. It was really wearing me down. I was getting sick. I ended up in the hospital a couple of times, overworked, and that's when I said I need to pause something. Obviously, making money wasn't the right the decision to stop. So I stopped studying for about 5 years, 6 years, and modeling just kept taking off. I did some of the most amazing brands worldwide. I worked a lot with German clients in South Africa. I was being able to travel the world. I not only for free, but actually getting paid. I got to see the most beautiful places, the most beautiful beaches, to meet amazing people on the way. The cultures, I actually regretted not paying attention in my social studies in high school, because being able to see the 7 wonders in the world, and I mean, all this history, especially in countries in Europe, and understanding where things come from, that somebody was standing here 2,000 years ago and knowing what happened, and I was standing right there for free, getting paid and smiling for the camera. It was pretty cool. And then fast forward 7 years later, I got pregnant with my daughter, and that's when I said it's time to go back to school. And I joined the university again in the online program. And I was able to finish my classes and finally graduated last year. So it took me quite some time, but I'm really happy because another school probably wouldn't have given me the support that Lynn University did. And as a fashion model, there's a lot of misconceptions about it. People think that you just need to show up early in the morning, get pretty, hair and makeup done, and smile for the camera, and that's it. But that's not how it is. There's actually a lot involved in modeling. You need to be always on time. Call times are usually between 5, 6 in the morning for hair and makeup, so you are ready to shoot once the sun comes out. And it doesn't matter if you just came from the other side of the world, if you slept the night before, or if you have problems in your life, you gotta show up completely rested and professional with a smile on your face and giving the image that the client wants from you. And once the shoot starts, there's a lot of waiting around, whether it's for the photographer to get the light ready or fixing hair and makeup, pinning the clothes behind you. There's a lot of sitting and waiting. There's a lot of patience involved. That's why you usually see the models with a book or an iPhone on their hands, because there is a lot of time to waste. And if you're not working, then you are actually going to castings. Castings are pretty much like going to the meat market. I like this one. I don't like this one. It's pretty sad actually to see, especially the young models going to those castings, because they can be, they take things very personal at that age. And you see 15 years old coming out of the casting almost with tears in their eyes, thinking, I'm horrible, I'm fat, or I'm too skinny, I'm ugly, I'm not good for this, and seeing everything going downhill in their heads. It's really sad. You really need to develop a tough skin in this business, not take absolutely anything personal. And my biggest advice will be to not do it alone. Make sure you have someone, if it's not family, which is someone that will really care for you, find a good agency, an agency that will really take care of you as a person, not only your business. And yeah, that'll be my biggest advice. I personally started modeling when I was 9 years old because my dad owned a clothing company for kids, so I was his little model. And then when I was 12, I grew too much. I was horrible. I really was really, really ugly. My hands grew first, and it's a really big hand. And my arms were super long. I looked like E.T. walking. It was horrible. So I stopped modeling for a couple of years. I started again when I was 15. And before I left Colombia, I was able to do pretty much the biggest jobs I could have done in Colombia. The biggest fashion clothing companies, the biggest swimsuit companies, lingerie, fashion shows. I was able to work for designers like Carolina Herrera, Oscar de la Renta, and I mean, many others, Bagley Nishka. And then I moved to the United States, and it just moved that South American career just moved overseas completely, the United States and Europe. And as I said before, I was always in a plane. I'm so thankful for everything I was able to learn in this career. Lynn University was big part of who I am right now, because not only they gave me all the tools in my communications career to be able to stand right now in front of you guys and tell you my story and how I started, where I'm going, but today that I just finally graduated, it's also a little bit bittersweet because I love my modeling career and how far I've gone throughout the years. But now that I have an actual degree in my hands, I love to put some use to it. But I'm in the middle of deciding which way to go. I have too many options. I love journalism. I love broadcasting and film. I also love the editing and production part of this entertainment industry. So I don't know. I'm in the middle of deciding, and I'm thankful to Lynn University to open up all those opportunities. Thanks to them, I got to meet Dawn and Freddie 2 weeks ago in the fair, the employment fair that they did, and here I am. I took this amazing opportunity to sit and tell my story, tell you what modeling involves, and it also involves a lot of eating. People think that models don't eat. People think models are not allowed to do a lot of things, but we actually have a lot of fun. We just don't tell. That's the reality. I mean, of course, I love burgers and I love ribs and I love all the stuff. We just don't tell. And then the next day we may overwork ourselves at the gym. Or if there's a swim shoot coming up or lingerie shoot coming up, then maybe obviously I'm not going to have the burger, but we do live a good life. And it's worth it. It's worth it for all those people out there that are always thinking they love to get into modeling. It's not easy. It's not a glamorous life that people think it is, but it is worth it. You get so many opportunities to travel, to work, to meet people, to make friends and connections in life. It has changed a lot with the pandemic. Now with the influencers trying to get on the Instagram and take over our job, it's completely different. But it has definitely affected. People expect you to be able to do the job on your own. They don't want to pay for a makeup artist or for the photographer. They pretty much want you to do the whole package yourself. It has gotten to that point, so which is really sad because it's not as glamorous anymore, but it's really worth it. Just don't forget, make sure you are mentored properly and you find yourself an agency that is going to protect you, especially if you're going to start at a very young age. Thank you so much for joining me today in this section of the Lynn University Hour, and I'll see you next time.
If If a tree falls in the woods and no one is around to hear it, does it make a sound? Have you ever felt that your voice goes unheard? And you think that you can make a difference if only someone would listen. It's time for women in business to have a place to step into your power, a platform to embrace your hopes, dreams, and your visions, a voice to heal and restore. Your voice can make a difference. We have a platform you deserve to share your story and let your voice be heard. Be kind to yourself. Give yourself the chance to be heard and shine bright. Contact New Dawn Media by texting CAFE to 55312. That's CAFE to 55312. Or call us at 866-224-5422. Your voice can make a difference.
Have you been injured in a car accident, slip and fall, or through the negligence of another? The lawyers at Shane M. Farnsworth, PA have over 40 years of combined experience representing injured individuals and their families. Call us today at 561-272-8337 for a free case evaluation and the answers to your legal questions. Were you injured in an accident that wasn't your fault? Don't let the insurance companies take advantage of you. Contact us now to learn about your options and to protect your rights.
Hi, I'm Nelson Malik, and I'm currently a student at Lynn University. I'm studying healthcare administration as my major and teaching as my minor. Both look quite interesting to me, and I think I'm going to be joining both industries or jobs at some point. But I'd like to talk about a internship or organization that I just had the privilege of working with in the past 3-4 months called Macy Movement. Essentially what I've been doing with them is I've been learning about what they do in storytelling through things like social media platforms and fundraising events. A lot of the jobs I've had to do with them is outreach and helping them get their voice out. And to back up what they do is they provide community and resources to off-grid communities in Nicaragua. They get confused sometimes with people I talk to, like, oh, you give them like food, water, money, different kind of resources. A lot of what we focus on in Macy is we teach them skills so that they can stand on their own 2 feet, more like hand up than a hand out. In the past year working with them, I've been able to learn about the amazing projects been done, like the Basura project, where they've been teaching the women in the off-grid community how to make paper out of entirely out of recycled trash. And through that, they're able to sell that and distribute that around their community. And by doing that, they're able to provide money for their families, kids, and keep their community going in general. At first, I thought that was such a crazy idea to be able to turn trash into paper and then into money. But I was lucky enough to go down to Nicaragua and see the work done right in front of me in person and actually get to partake in it. I sat down with the women, seeing how they did their work, how they made the paper, and what they thought about the organization that was helping them learn all these skills. It was really amazing to see them sit down in this circle and listen to the head of the committee talk about how the work that they do doesn't just help them, but help the environment that we all live in. And I remember someone who I was working with, Robert, talked about how trash can stay around for hundreds of years and affect the world so poorly, and they were blown away. They were a very off-grid community. They weren't informed of a lot of this stuff, so this seemed like mind-boggling to them. So it was at that moment where I realized I feel like I'm in this completely different world, seeing this, not just a different community, but a different lifestyle, people who see everything differently, from what they wake up to do when they go to sleep, what's their priorities throughout the day. It became this incredible experience, not just in Nicaragua. While I was working with their social media, I would hear about what they did on the ground that week, and I'd be like, oh, this week Macy Movement has made a great milestone by being able to color their paper or distribute paper in much greater quantities in different sizes. And I was blown away by the news every week. But when I really went down there and saw it in person, it was something different, because a lot of the people in that community, especially the people especially the women in the Basra program, talked to me about what do the people who read the Instagram posts or social media posts think when they hear about us. And I tell them they're intrigued. They're amazed that you're able to flip something that's most people would see as, well, obviously garbage, but its use has worn out, can't be used anymore. And then you turn into something that keeps your family happy and healthy and keeps everyone smiling. And it felt kind of amazing to be a part of someone's life like that. And as I was leaving the village of Congrejo, I remember thinking, this community is going to keep itself going because of the skills that they've been able to be taught, and made me realize that I've worked with a couple of nonprofits, food distributors, or food banks, and different kind of organizations like that. And I realized this Macy Movement is something else. It doesn't help someone keep going for the day. They keep them going for as long as they can. They teach them the skills that'll last them an entire lifetime or more, because of the kids that get to get the proper education because of the money that they're making. During the last couple of weeks of the internship, I was writing up last couple stories, and then I realized a lot of my posts, or a lot of the storytelling I did in the fundraisers or the events, or the posts, obviously, they were becoming more intimate, becoming more as if I was actually sitting there. And I then realized, okay, this is something else. I was writing about stories that I had in no way correlated with. I was trying to empathize with the people who were actually being in Congrejo, helping the women and children learn these new skills, helping their education program grow. Now I had actually seen it. I'd helped make the paper. I was just running around that day like, oh my God, look what I made. Look at the paper. And then I was like, okay, wow. I wish I had gone earlier. That trip definitely did a number on me, because I don't think I'll ever be able to think the same of the people around me ever again, because I now realize that each person has this different lifestyle and different way of viewing the world. And one thing that my boss, Victoria, told me about while working with Macy is that we don't just teach skills, we discover what it means to be human. And I always wondered how that correlated with the work that was being done in Congrejo. To me, it was just amazing that all this was happening. Turning trash into paper was something I didn't think was possible until then. By the time I got back, everyone was like, where'd you go for the last couple of days? And I'm like, oh, I got a couple stories to tell you. And I told them about the great experience I had in Congrejo, but as a college student, before going on that trip, I felt quite burnt out. It was my sophomore year. Tests were rolling in. We ended the semester, so finals was crazy. I didn't realize that working with people and helping fuel their, say, economy, or helping their community grow actually did a reaction to me, which made me feel like I wasn't tired anymore. I thought that I just needed to sleep more, but nah, that experience made me feel more motivated, more happy, I helped put something better into the world. So working with Macy, not just the fundraisers, where I got to talk about these amazing stories and amazing people who are doing work that I didn't think were possible, like say a year or two ago. It became this whole experience that I'm so grateful to Macy for giving me. I'm so grateful for Lynn for setting me up with this amazing internship. If I hadn't joined Macy, I'm not sure what the rest of my school year at Lynn would have looked like. The whole internship kind of changed my perspective, and I was only expecting something like, oh, I'll do an internship, I'll learn some skills with social media and learn some things to do with marketing and how to advertise for events, but I learned things that I was not expecting to come away with. I learned about how the community can adapt, can grow, and landing in the when we arrived in the village for the first time, my boss Victoria pulled us over and said, "Okay, so here's the thing. If you don't speak Spanish, I need you to understand that it might be difficult to communicate or have a connection from time to time. But if you struggle with that, just smile. That's the best thing you can do." And that might be the best sentence I'm ever going to take away from any school-related anything, really. That trip, that whole internship did a number on me, and I don't think I'm ever going to be able to forget that. But because of it, I'm happy that I was able to meet those people in the village. I'm happy that I was able to meet everyone I worked with in Macy. And overall, I can't wait to see them again and start working with them again soon, hopefully. So my name is Nelson Malik. Thank you so much for joining us in Lynn University Hour, and we'll see you soon. Thank you.
This has been Tell Us Your Business, where a special guest comes on every week and tells us what they do. All shows can be seen on amp2.tv, and if you wish to be a guest, call 866-224-5422 and tell us about your business. That's 866-224-5422. This has been an amp2.tv production.